Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. To us, OC stands for community because we believe that our community is stronger when we come together. That's why we thank you for joining us each Tuesday evening on channel 56.10 and on Wednesday morning. As you know, this is a bilingual English and Vietnamese program dedicated to educating, empowering, and inspiring our community. And in the month of May, which is May Mental Health Month, we want to talk about the importance of mental wellness and especially about the mental health of the gentlemen in our lives. Today on our show, we have two very special guests. That's EricMorley from Blue Sea Creative Marketing and SeanLee, the founder of Purist Group. Today, we're here to talk about an upcoming event, or two upcoming events. That is first the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride on May 22nd, and also a special fundraiser that SeanLee is doing to help the animals at the shelter. That's on May 16th. Julie kính chào quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV trong chương trình Kiến Thức Y Khoa, Gia Đình và Xã hội. Chương trình OC Health and Education là chương trình song ngữ. Julie hy vọng nói về thông tin rất là quan trọng cho quý vị. Hôm nay Julie sẽ nói về đề tài của sức khỏe tâm thần cho người nam. Đó là tháng 5 là một tháng là Mental Health Wellness and Mental Health Awareness. Julie muốn mời được hai người khách. Đó là trước là EricMorley. EricMorley là một người là founder của Blue Seas Creative Marketing. Thêm nữa đó là SeanLee, the president and the founder of the Purist Group. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for the invite, and thank you to the Little Saigon TV family out there for having me on. Really appreciate it, and thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Eric, for coming on our show. Sean, welcome back to the show.
Always a pleasure to coming back to you.
Oh, well, you know, today is a great opportunity for talk about May. And May to me is so many things. You know, in addition to being Mental Health Awareness Month, it's also, you know, the May Speech and Hearing Month, and also Asian Pacific Islander History Month. So this is a jam-packed month. So we want to make
the most important, the mothers in our life
Yes.
month too. It's not just a Mother's Day; it's a Mother's Month. So,
oh yes, you're so wonderful. But you know, we want the audience to know more about you both. Can you tell them about who you are, Eric, and why are you here on the show today?
Well, my name's EricMorley, and my company is called Blue Sea. We're a creative marketing agency.
Okay.
We've been around since 1998. We're located in Costa Mesa. So our clients come to us for brand strategy, content development, marketing communications, but we're mostly known for creative executions. And over and above everything else is that we also believe in doing a thing called Blue Sea Cares. Blue Sea Cares is that one thing that keeps our company together through thick and thin. And Blue Sea Cares is caring for our community, caring for those in need, and caring for the next generation through mentorship.
Wow.
And so we always focus on those three things. And why does this come back to May is that this is a big month for us, especially for gentlemen. And men's mental health is the biggest challenge is that men don't take care of themselves.
Yes.
And I'm going to be the first one to admit I'm the worst. I push. When you have a list,
Yes.
it falls at the very, very bottom.
Oh.
And so, and I always like push other things like, okay, I'll rake the leaves first before I do that. And it's like, you really have to think about this because we have one life and you have to make the best of that life. And you have to push those things up to the top. And I'm the first to blame is I didn't get my big checkup until 2 years ago.
Wow.
And so why is that? Is because it wasn't important to me. But the true reality is like 15 minutes in and out done. It's like, why didn't I do that years ago? You know.
So it doesn't even take that long.
No, it's like in and out, and there's no pain at all. And so I think what happens is that there's always that fear of the unknown,
Yes.
and there's the fear of the pain, where women are smart. They take care of themselves. They go through this, that, and the other thing. And I even heard a study is that you're supposed to get your teeth cleaned once a year and see your dentist. A guy goes once every 5 years, unless he has something. And
I go every 2 years. Oh, I mean twice a year.
see, you're right on target. That's why you have those that beautiful smile.
Well, you know, Eric, you're such a charmer. I'm so happy to have you here because, you know, when you're here, what it does is it reminds our audience to first take care of ourselves. Yes. There's so many things that both of you gentlemen do in the world and in the community that's so significant. You both change so many lives. And we want to make sure that you are healthy and stay healthy and take care of yourself. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to try to translate or interpret all that so our audience can continue to hear about what all the great things you're offering. Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với EricMorley. EricMorley nhắc quý vị đó là tháng 5 là Mental Health Month, một tháng rất là quan trọng mà muốn nhấn mạnh về sức khỏe tâm thần cho người nam. Julie thấy đó là nhiều lúc, Eric cũng nói đó là nhiều lúc người nam không có đi bác sĩ, không có đi check up. Eric cũng nói chỉ trong mới 2 năm đây Eric mới nhớ đi bác sĩ, mà vô có 15 phút thôi chứ không phải là lâu, thời gian nhiều lắm, mà thiệt ra cái 15 phút đây là rất là quan trọng. Eric nói đó là tại cái người nam mình phải lo cho gia đình, mình thấy cái sức khỏe của mình không có quan trọng hơn sức khỏe của người khác, thì Eric cũng mới nhắc nhở quý vị đó là phải nên đi bác sĩ, phải check up về giữ sức khỏe tâm thần. Eric là một người founder của Blue Seas Creative Marketing. Đó là một cái marketing firm giúp cho cái business của quý vị trước nhất là branding, mà cũng có một cái Blue Seas Care để giúp cho cộng đồng and làm rất nhiều việc từ thiện. Thank you so much, Eric, for sharing all that. I want Sean also have an opportunity to, remind the audience again, what is it that you do in the community, Sean, and how did you get to where you are in life?
So we actually host, Pierce has been around for 10 years. And during the last 10 years, every year we host a couple major events to help out the communities. One being getting a gathering supplies to help the cats and dogs in a shelter, because the recent budget cuts caused a lot of animals being destroyed a lot earlier than they should. Of course, leads up to July and August, we do a back to school backpack events. Every year we donate about 5,000 backpacks to various school districts, and also in different states. We're reaching out to Texas, Nevada now, Mexico. Wow. Yeah, and of course all throughout California. Then eventually leads our year-end toy drives, and usually we donate about between 25 to 35,000 toys every year to different community as well too.
So why did you start Purist Group? What is your personal connection to all the love that you have?
So I was abused pretty badly by my own parents when I was a kid. Wow. And when I grow older and I do have the leisure of time, and I tried my best to use my time to make a difference in the community and make something happen for those kids. It started out a very simple idea and now snowballed into this huge organization. We have 10,000 members globally, and every year we host minimum 3 charity events, sometimes even more, and to help different people. So
you have the love for kids because you know the hardship of being a kid, but also what about the animal? What's your connection to all that stuff?
I had a very special dog that he passed away, and he's been with me for 14 years. And every charity event I've ever been to, Bobo has always been with me going to those charity events. Yes. And sometimes, I had a good friend one day told me, when you put goodwill out there, it's amazing what can be accomplished. This is a good example of you putting a goodwill out there. And Bobo unfortunately passed away last year. But even before that, every year we're doing animal shelter events to help out the shelters, gather supplies to prolong those animals' life. Yeah,
because a lot of people don't know the importance of having a pet or an animal in our life for mental health. So I know after the commercial break we'll have more opportunities to talk about all the wonderful event that's coming up. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Sau phần quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với SeanLee of the Purist Group and EricMorley of Blue Seas Creative Marketing. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. We're going to continue our conversation with SeanLee, the president of the Purist Group, and EricMorley, the founder of Blue Seas Creative Marketing. Sean, thank you so much for sharing with us, your passion with the Purist Group and talking about the great events that you do. You mentioned that there's about 3 or 4 events that you do. It's a backpack drive for kids. Animal, food shelter support, and then also the Christmas event. Did I miss anything else?
Usually we actually have another one that's for helping out the homeless.
Oh, and also the homeless. So I just love that, for you, the reason and the areas in which you help has a very special and personal place in your heart. So thank you so much for always being open about your journey. And, it's a beautiful journey, to see how far we've come. So thank you so much, Sean, for being so transparent and helping the community. Thưa quý vị, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với SeanLee. SeanLee là một người bạn của Julie mà cũng là một người rất là thương mến trong cộng đồng của mình. But especially in the car world, Sean là một người founder của Purist Group. Mà Julie đặt một câu hỏi đó là tại sao Sean muốn giúp cộng đồng. Sean nói đó là Sean đó là hồi xưa là cũng có rất nhiều cái abuse của gia đình, thì cũng có rất nhiều khó khăn lớn lên, thì Sean cũng giúp về mấy thú vật. Hồi xưa Sean cũng có một con chó rất là dễ thương, đó là Bobo Lee. Bobo là luôn luôn đứng gần Sean lúc mà Sean làm mấy cái fundraiser and animal shelter drive để cho làm mấy cái chương trình đó. Mỗi năm Sean có 4 cái chương trình để cho giúp cho cộng đồng. Trước nhất là chương trình cho giúp cho thú vật là cái food drive gần đến đây, đó là May 16th, là cái food drive cho mấy cái thú vật để cho giúp cho Orange County Animal Care với rất cái trung tâm khác ở trong quận Cam với Los Angeles. Thêm nữa John cũng giúp mấy người homeless. And sau nữa thì giúp cho mấy em học sinh để cho cái backpack cũng làm hơn 5.000 cái backpack, mà một cái chương trình rất là quan trọng mà rất nhiều người biết là cái toy drive mỗi năm. Sean được thu vô được 25 tới 30.000 đồ chơi, rất là nhiều. Sean, I thank you so much for doing so much in the community, and for Eric for talking about all the great things that you do. I want the community to know more about what helps fund these things, because for you have a business, right? And we can't just always do charity if we don't have the support behind that. So for your marketing business, can you tell us what it is that you do for the community and to help small business and large businesses alike?
Sure. So kind of going back to our initiative of Blue Sea Cares, caring for our community, caring for those in need, and caring through the next generation through mentorship is, I am the luckiest person in the world. I've got the best team that will support me. So
I also hear you have the best wife too.
She's, she's the best wife. She is the most amazing cook, and she's the greatest mother in the world.
I don't want you to forget that because she's watching.
I know, and she always watched this show too. So it's like she's a fan of yours. So definitely great. But giving back to the community is if it's really supporting other people. Like for example, Sean's events. We always support Sean's events because he needs his help, and we've always a big supporter of everything he does. Anything to even the California Love Drop. We started that with Wing Lamb from Wahoo's Fish Tacos. Actually early part of the pandemic. And then caring for those in need is homeless shelters, orphanages, and so forth. We work on that. And then mentorship programs is, I just finished mentorship program for Chapman University, and it was a 1-semester program where my actual mentoree got the job of her dreams.
Wow,
I'll tell you about that later.
Well, what department is it that you mentor?
Okay, it's an MBA program, and it's with Jim and Jolena there, and so it's the MBA program.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Now you're giving me some time to catch up on you.
Yes.
What you're saying. Hôm nay Eric chia sẻ với mình đó là công việc của Eric rất là quan trọng. Blue Seas Creative Marketing là một phần là cái marketing and firm, mà cũng có một cái Blue Seas Care giúp cộng đồng. Eric nói đó là trước nhất mỗi người homeless cũng cần cái sự giúp đỡ, mà cũng có muốn giúp cho cái tương lai nữa, là Eric cũng là một cái mentorship program với Chapman University. Eric nói Eric có một thời gian giúp một học sinh được tìm cái công việc mà họ muốn rất mơ muốn, đó là rất là quan trọng. And that's so great, to have mentors like you and Sean, to help the youth, because we're not going to be here forever. But I think all the great things that you guys do continue that legacy. I know one of the legacy Sean always talks about is do good.
Yes.
Something just very simple, Sean, right? But it's so impactful. I think a lot of times, we do all of these things and we get dressed up and you see all this vanity. But at the end of the day, it's really not vanity. We're using it as a platform so we can send our message to do good and make an impact in the community. So Sean, tell me a little bit about the Purist Group and the mission behind all of that.
Well, the Purist Group has a very simple mission, right? First of all, we seldom do fundraising. I don't touch anybody else's money. But every time we do an event, we actually ask people to donate supplies only. So, and the simple fact is just simple, just do good and be kind to people. The group itself brings a message to people that focus on the originality of a human being. When we don't know each other, we don't care about color of skin and what status you have, how much cars you have, but just focus on do good and be kind to people. It's very, very simple concept. But as we get older, there's more people influencing us in our life. We tend to forget that. Unfortunately, I was one of those person decades ago. I was not a good person, and now I realize that. So, I'm just trying to do more for the community to do a catch up.
I think that's a very important part about mental health. The mental health part of it is really accepting all of our past and where we are today. So I think that's why when you see me on my Facebook posting all the pictures of what I used to look like and what I used to do, sometimes we're not always proud of our history. But I think to be open and to accept, that part of us and to grow. I think more importantly is making that comparison of who we were and who we are today. And I think you're a great example of that, Sean. I know you're such a humble guy, but you are a big figure and a celebrity in the car world. A lot of people don't know that the Purist Group is a car enthusiast. Right? A group of car enthusiasts, not just high-end cars. What I love, what you always say is, I don't care what kind of car you drive. You can join this group, you can bring your car. It's just whatever you're proud of, and you put so much love in your car, right? And I think a lot of times our cars, it's kind of our history. Sometimes we remember what we used to drive. I used to drive.
What was your first car?
Well, I drove my parents' van, which is like a 1980, that box-looking Toyota van. And I used to sleep in there, and I went to Pasadena City College, and I had a cooler in there. I'm practically homeless. But that was what it is. I mean, I still drive a 2004 Honda Accord. So no matter how big I am and what we do, I think it's just being humbling, because it's not what car you drive. It's the impact you have in the community. And Sean, I think that's one beautiful thing that you remind us during May Mental Health Month, is just own everything you are and everything that you have become. So thank you again for being a friend and sending such an important message to the community.
Thank you.
Thưa quý vị, hôm nay Julie có thời gian rất là đặc biệt nói chuyện với SeanLee. SeanLee là một người rất là dễ thương, mà cũng là very humble. Là Sean là một người rất là thương mến trong cái car community. Đó là rất nhiều người có nhiều cái xe rất là xịn, giống như Lamborghini ha, McLaren hay cái gì đó Julie cũng không biết hết. Mà thiệt ra mỗi lần Sean mời mỗi người đã tới tham dự cái chương trình mà fundraiser, Sean nói là Sean không có care mình lái cái xe gì, miễn sao cái xe mình muốn show, mình muốn share với mọi người, đó là rất là quan trọng. Mà thấy đó là Sean nói là hồi xưa có thể Sean nhỏ trẻ thì mình không có làm nhiều cái việc mà mình là very proud of, mà hiện tại Sean thấy là tiến bộ với advance rất là nhiều, với làm rất nhiều tốt cho cộng đồng. Thì Julie thấy đó là hân hạnh được mời Sean lên đây nói về cái sức khỏe tâm thần của người nam. Trước nhất mình giữ sức khỏe của mình là mình phải chấp nhận cái tốt với của mình, và cái cũng là cái xấu cho mình được thay đổi và được chỉnh cái đó. What I was saying in addition was, sometimes we have to accept the good characters of us, and sometimes the things that we're not always proud of. But when we accept it, I think that's where mental health comes in. Is we can fix it and we can address it. So I think after the commercial break, we'll have more opportunities for you to both share about the great upcoming events. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Sau vòng quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với SeanLee and EricMorley về hai cái chương trình gần sắp tới. Đó là cái food drive ngày 16 tháng 5 với ngày 22 tháng 5. Đó là Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. We're going to continue the conversation with the founder of the Pyrrhus Group, that's SeanLee, and the president of the Blue Seas Creative Marketing, EricMorley. Thank you so much to both of you for coming on to the show. And this segment, I really want to know more about the great upcoming events. What is the event that you're doing, Eric?
So our event is on Sunday, May 22nd. It starts at 10 a.m. It's called the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride.
Okay.
And I'm actually changing the name. It's Distinguished Gentlemen and Ladies Ride. And so what we do is we get together on classic motorcycles and we ride from one destination to another destination, all in the support of men's mental health and men's prostate cancer research. So the greatest thing is it's 300 rides worldwide. So when you actually look at the feed, you're going to see is Barcelona, Mexico, Australia, Iceland, Italy, Japan, Singapore, Fiji, and it's like everyone does this ride on the same day. And so it's ultimately the goal is to raise funds worldwide to benefit Movember. And so everyone dresses up in suits. So that's why I dressed up for you today. And actually we kind of match. Isn't that
Yeah,
cool?
we do. Look at this.
And then the women dress in their best and we ride motorcycles. It starts in Costa Mesa at OC Motorcycle and goes up the coast to Long Beach and then back down to Newport Beach.
Wow. Well, we're so excited. I hope I have an opportunity to join you too.
I hope so.
Now, what is Sean? Sean, can you tell me your role in that day?
So that day I had the honor to become the Grand Marshal for the DGR, short for Distinguished Gentleman's Rights, and it's one of my favorite events every year. And I'm a motorcycle enthusiast too, and it's such an honor to be able to work with Eric on this particular event.
So how do you guys know each other?
Doing good.
Actually, I met Sean several years back, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing a little toy drive this weekend. Why don't you come on up and kind of see our toy drive and hang out?" And so I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And anyone that invites me on something for good, I will commit to going to. And so I go up there. Little did I know, little to Sean means 1,500 to 2,000 cars at one given time. And my head was spinning. I could not believe it. And Sean's going, yeah, it's always like this. This is my little toy drive.
Oh.
So, and then we've just stayed friends ever since, and I just admire him and what he does and how he is just real. And I think the Sean's initiative on anything is like, it doesn't matter who you are, no matter who you're speaking to, that is the most important person in your life at that given time. When he said that to me, it's like, well, that's the kind of person I want to hang out with. So, and I appreciate the friendship, Sean.
Thank you.
Right.
Now, how did he become the Grand Marshal?
So what we do is we have a group of 10 people that coordinate this every year. When you're moving 500 motorcycles around from several different directions, and you have to have a committee. And so the committee always brings names to the table every year, and we say, well, who really fits this persona? Who's the most important part on it? And so it was like, we're going, well, do we do Johnny Depp or Sean Lee? Johnny Depp's busy right now, so we say, hey, Sean Lee. No, actually, it's like when the reality is like, it's just like, well, when you really think about a giver and someone that really goes that extra mile and does what they really say they're going to do, is Sean's it. And I really admire that about Sean, and I'm really blessed to have your friendship all these years. So
You're making me blush.
I'm trying to. How am I doing?
But you know, I love that you're here, Eric, because you know, Sean will never talk about himself. You know, but I think it is a great opportunity for us to highlight, you know, the importance of men's mental health. That's always being there for each other, and like what Sean reminds us all is to be present, right? To be there with and make that person that's talking or standing in front of you the most important person in the world at that time.
But you know who the most important person is it's actually the women in the men's world, is because it kind of goes back to the point is that you really, as a male, you don't do these kind of things. But if you have a woman that's very smart, intelligent, educated about, they'll just push you along, because of course we always listen to the women in our lives. And so that's really important. So we also do is, it used to be the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Now it's the Distinguished Gentleman and Ladies Ride. And the best part is these ladies dress to the T. I mean, they're in their Sunday best, and they throw a leg over that motorcycle, and it's almost like a New York fashion show. It's pretty awesome.
I love that what you do, because you know, when I run OC Autism, we're always about inclusion.
Yes.
That means just make sure everybody feels invited and they can come and they're welcome to come.
Yes.
So thank you for extending that title.
Yeah.
But I think it's still important to me to call it the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, because we do want to highlight the importance of men's mental health. Because you know, I'm a therapist, and you know, we know that there are millions of people in the U.S. that have mental health. It's 1 in 5. And 1 in 2 women go to therapy when they have mental health, but only 1 in 5 men go. So we know oftentimes men, as you mentioned, don't get the services and the help that they need until sometimes it's a little bit too late or too severe.
Right.
So thank you so much for, you know, highlighting such a good person. And even you know, I know we haven't talked about Eric, so your time is up, Sean. You're going to be able to talk about him. Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với EricMorley. EricMorley là một người founder of Blue Seas Creative Marketing. Hôm nay Eric có thời gian nói chuyện về cái chương trình, nói về quý vị, đó là ngày 22 tháng 5, đó là Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, một cái ride rất là quan trọng, cũng có 300 cái simultaneous riders là trong thế giới luôn. Giống như Eric nói là ở Japan hay nước khác cũng có. But mình thấy đó là quan trọng nhất là một cái chương trình đây là giúp cho men's prostate, là sức khỏe cho người nam. Thêm nữa nói về cái quan trọng về sức khỏe tâm thần cho cái người nam. Hôm nay Eric có mặt ở đây nói chuyện với rất nhiều công việc tốt mà SeanLee làm. Sean là một người Grand Marshal của Distinguished Gentleman Ride. Julie đặt một câu hỏi là tại sao Sean được làm Grand Marshal. Eric nói đó là tại cũng có một cái panel là rất nhiều người trên cái committee đây đã chọn Sean, tại Sean làm rất nhiều cái việc tốt cho cộng đồng. Mà Julie thấy đó là quan trọng nhất là Eric nói đó là không phải là chú ý về gentlemen không, là bây là Eric nói là bây giờ là Distinguished Gentlemen and Ladies Ride, làm cái chương trình để cho người nữ cũng tới tham dự luôn để cho ủng hộ về sức khỏe tâm thần cho người nam. I just love that, you know, now you're inviting us to come to the party, and also, you know, celebrate and also remind our gentlemen in our life to take care of themselves, because we want you around longer. The way I tell my husband Neil, I'm like, I want you around longer so I can torture you longer. And they're just so fun.
Don't tell my wife that, please, okay?
But you know, I think a good marriage is something that, you know, you're open about everything, right?
True.
And the good things about it, and some of the challenges. I think it's working through it together. I think having that journey together is very important, and I'm excited to have this journey together. Can I sit in the back of your car? Wait, your wife is going to be there.
No, she doesn't ride motorcycles with me.
She doesn't?
No, she definitely supports me riding motorcycles, and she's been like, yeah, go do it. She meets at the end, and she's got that nice cold margarita ready for me, which is awesome. And
I hope you don't have one of those T-shirts that you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, you know, the thing is that the motorcycle's always been kind of my calming force in life, and it's not the riding, it's the going in the garage at night and being able to tinker it or clean it or change this out or buying this and doing that.
So I'll call you Tinkerbell from now on.
You can call me anything you want, and you know what? I'll respond too. But over and above everything else is that we're not exclusive, we're inclusive. So anyone with motorcycles is welcome.
Is there a registration or anything?
So you go to gentlemansride.com and you go to the Orange County ride and go ahead and sign up there. I think we have close to 300 people. You come to the event. Once you register, you start getting all the information, the map of the times and so forth. But the best part is it's at OC Motorcycle, which is a Triumph and Moto Guzzi dealership in Costa Mesa, central to everything. We're going to drive up the coast to Off Track, and then we're going to drive all the way back to Tony Hawk's restaurant, which is called Guacamigos in Newport Beach.
Okay.
They've been open doors and said, hey, you can have the place to yourselves. Like, okay, I like that.
Well, thank you so much, Eric, for making my job so hard. Now I have to try to say all of that in Vietnamese.
Oh, remember
I'm sorry.
May 22nd. Was the
Just gentlemansride.com.
Okay.
And so, and May 22nd, mark your calendars out there. And definitely, when you do, please, please, please come up to me at the event and say, my name is so-and-so, and I saw you on Little Saigon TV, and I'm here to ride with you. And you know what? I'd be totally honored.
Well, thank you so much. After the commercial break, we're going to try to translate all that and then have an opportunity to talk about Sean's upcoming event.
Sure.
Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Sau phần quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với SeanLee về cái chương trình sắp tới, đó là ngày 16 tháng 5 for the Animal Shelter. Mà Julie cũng muốn nhấn mạnh với quý vị, mời quý vị tới tham dự chương trình ngày 22 tháng 5 at the OC Motorcycle in Costa Mesa, thành phố Costa Mesa từ Chủ nhật 10 giờ rưỡi sáng. Hy vọng quý vị có thời gian tham dự. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình. 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. We just want to invite you both to two very special upcoming event. First, that's the 16th of May, which is Monday at 7 p.m. We have a food drive for animals and animal shelters in LA and Orange County at the Arrow Works in the City of Industry. And next, we have the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride in Costa Mesa on the 22nd of May at 10:30 at the OC Motorcycle. We want to continue to talk about all the great things that Sean and Eric is doing. You know, we had a great opportunity to learn more about the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Now I want to know more about what you're doing, Sean. Tell me a little bit about the event that you have on the 16th.
So on 16th, we actually use our resource, get a bunch of people to come out, and we're gonna have a couple pretty nice cars over there on display. And if you like enjoy cars and motorcycles, and the whole idea was to get our supplies to help the local animal shelter, because recently the local animal shelter has been euthanized the animals a lot earlier than usual because due to the budget cuts. And by providing supplies for them, we are able to help the animal last a little bit longer, and also kind of ease up the budget tightening of each animal shelter. So that was the whole idea for the event on May 16th. It starts at 7 p.m. and looking forward to see you guys. And the address will be there will be actually a shop called Arrow Works, and looking forward to see you guys over there at 7 p.m. Nissan also loaned us a very special car that hasn't been released yet. It's called the new Nissan Z that will be there on site for you to get up close and personal with the car, and you get to see quite a lot of extraordinary cars and just come and hang out with us.
Now, Sean, tell us, what kind of supplies do we need to bring to help out with the shelters?
So mainly we need cat food and dog food, and also their pets, and possibly collars and leashes, and just most stuff you would buy for the pets.
Okay.
And treats, to give it to them. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Sean. I love your love for animals and love your love to help the community. So thank you so much for doing all that. Because, it's very important, because a lot of people, again, don't realize how important animals are for our mental health.
Yes.
So like you and I, we don't call them animals, we call them our kids, right? Because, our kids is like, my husband always like, why do you say hi to the dogs before you say hi to me? Because they get so excited every time you come back into the room, not even just leaving the house. And I think I love that joy. It's kind of like that childhood joy that you see in a child, that every time it's something beautiful, even if you're mad at them, they're still loving you. And I mean, there was a joke they said, if you put your dog and your wife in the trunk and you lock it and you open it up, your wife will yell at you, and if you do it again, she's going to continue to yell at you, but your dog will never do that.
No.
I know, Eric, you always...
It's like, you're going to get me in trouble. If we keep on talking like this, it's like, no. It's like Wow.
But you know, that's the thing about it. That's a joke that people always say because they don't know how to get mad, right? And I just love that you have that heart, Sean, to do that. So I want to invite, you know, the community. Julie muốn mời quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV and the community to come to the event on May 16th at 7 p.m. in the City of Industry at, let's see, one more, Arrow Works. Một lần nữa, Julie muốn mời quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV tới tham dự chương trình rất là quan trọng cho giúp cho mấy thú vật Animal Shelter ở lot với ở Orange County. Đó là ngày 16 tháng 5, đó là thứ hai lúc 7 giờ tối at Arrow Works chỗ trong thành phố City of Industry. Thank you so much, Sean, for doing this and for, you know, making sure that, you know, animals who are, you know, waiting in line to find a family are going to hopefully find that family. So thank you so much for helping them, you know, enjoy their life, even if it's at a shelter.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Now, Eric, do you have a pet, or do you have any connection to all this?
Actually, we had a really great poodle, and after 16 years, we just lost our poodle.
I'm so sorry.
And the thing is that we've been thinking about getting another dog, but then our lives are so busy right now. We're just going to say, okay, let's think about it back in December. But after 16 years with this poodle, it was like an amazing time. And then it just got to a point where we actually had to put her down, and it's been very sad. So, but then again, I also see like Sean. It's like everywhere he goes, little pom poms with her, and it's like it's just the cutest thing ever. So, yeah.
So I think that's the thing about it is, you know, oftentimes when someone has a loss, right, that impacts your mental health. That's a pivotal point in a lot of people's lives. Like for me, I lost my mom. I was 30, she was 57. So it was a tremendous void in my heart. So I went through chronic depression for the last, you know, 15 plus years. And it was very hard because, you know, as a therapist, I'm so good at telling my patients, go see a doctor. I'm really good at telling my patient, you might need to, you know, look into medication. But it was hard for me to do it for myself. And so I think what I learned now is that, you know, the medicine and the treatment that I've been providing for my patients, it's really the treatment that I needed for myself.
I agree.
So right now, I finally, you know, to this day can tell you that I feel very healthy because now I remember who I was and what I liked. Because for 15 years, I forgot what I liked. I think that's what mental health does. It makes you kind of forget the joys in life. But for some of us, I think what I want to remind the audience is that we do need to write that list down. And especially the men, you know, especially when you're providers and you have all these, you know, lifestyle you have to maintain for the wife and the kids and the dog. It is a big burden, but I think it's very important that, you know, the community comes out to your event and to your event because both of what you do is so meaningful into the mental health of the community. So, Sean, if you want to share with the community one more time about the event and invite them.
Sure. May 16, come join us, and we get our supplies for the cats and dogs that live in the shelter. Come with us, help them prolong their life a little bit. And for any more information, you can find us on our Instagram, which is @PuristGroup, PuristGroup, or my personal Instagram will be SCANLEE768, and that's the event on May 16th. Also, he would like to talk about the event on May 22nd.
Oh, really quick, in your Instagram, it's 768. What's 768?
There's no meaning for that. It's actually long time ago when I started racing on motorcycles. That was the digits on my race license.
I was always wondering.
Yeah, there's no meaning about that at all.
Gotcha.
So I kept that number ever since then.
But if you have a motorcycle and want to ride with Sean, since he is our Grand Marshal this year for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, go to gentlemansride.com, look for the Orange County Ride, and sign up. Definitely look forward to riding with a lot of people. Right now, I think we have about 300 riders. As we get closer to 500. It will be a coastal ride. Everyone's welcome, no matter what kind of motorcycle. We're going to actually have some scooters too. So there's a moped community that's going to be with us too, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So it supports men's mental health and men's prostate cancer research. We're going to have someone from Movember there that's going to educate us all. And we actually, at the end, we actually have Carlos Santana's nephew is going to play at Guacamigos. He was also a runner-up on American Idol. So that's actually going to be the secret there. And, you know, definitely look forward to the secret's out. But the thing is, I'm not going to tell the name of it because I want people to actually research it. But if they want to go to gentlemansride.com and sign up, or follow on Instagram and Facebook as Gentleman's Ride, And
so what's the location one more time?
It's OC Motorcycle in Costa Mesa.
Okay.
It's right behind John Ware Airport. So when you sign up, you get all the information emailed
And then
to
it
you.
ends at that, what's the restaurant called?
Guacamigos, Tony Hawk's
Guacamole.
restaurant,
Okay.
Guacamigos in Newport Beach. So,
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
right on the water.
Alright, thank you. Một lần nữa, Julie muốn mời quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV để tham dự hai cái chương trình rất là quan trọng. Đó là ngày 16 tháng 5 lúc 7 giờ tối at Aero Works, and then thêm nữa ngày 22 tháng 5 at OC Motorcycle for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Đây là một cái chương trình rất là quan trọng để cho mình làm khai quỹ cho prostate cancer research and giúp cho nói về sức khỏe tâm thần cho người nam. Tháng 5 là một tháng rất là quan trọng cho cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình, đó là Asian Pacific Islander Month, mà cũng là một cái Mental Health Awareness Month. Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV đã luôn luôn ủng hộ chương trình Kiến Thức Y Khoa Gia Đình và Xã hội, và cho Julie một cái thời gian mời hai người bạn rất là quan trọng trong cộng đồng làm rất nhiều việc tốt để cho tới lên đài hôm nay. Một lần nữa Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV, chúc quý vị rất nhiều sức khỏe và hạnh phúc.